Hi, everyone. Welcome to 2025. This is DocTalk. This is going to be an exciting and a very good year. The holiday events were really good this year, and we have a lot to be proud of in this country. We're looking forward to a 2025 where we're back on our feet away from COVID. We are back on our feet in terms of the economy. We're back mostly on our feet in terms of supply chain and being able to get stuff that you want. So this is really a good time to look ahead. We've had some tragic events the last couple of days, so that's going to be the source of our conversation this month. Because today I have received a lot of requests from the public about how to respond to these big events. First, I got to say, every month is Cancer Awareness Month, but January is Firefighter Cancer Awareness Month. And for all of our fire, EMS, and other public safety friends, this is a month for you to, first of all, be aware of our risks. They're higher than the general public. Number two, there are particularly ones that we're more susceptible to. And so, not only getting checked for them, but then planning for the year ahead in terms of our resolution, how we cannot have those happen to us and to our families. And number three, if it's time to go get checked, screening in some way, please do that. There's a number of really good resources available in the Firefighter Cancer Awareness Network and other resources. Please check them out. Stay healthy. Okay. All right. This weekend, horrible events. Our condolences to everybody in New Orleans, in Las Vegas, where a big explosion occurred, in Honolulu, where a home fireworks explosion killed many in a terrible accident. We've had shootings. We've had multiple vehicle crashes in winter weather conditions. And what I want to talk about this month is how you, as an individual, can be prepared to manage an event that unfortunately you are in the middle of as it occurs. This is the time when really focused, organized, common sense approach will help the people around you and will help you get through this and understand that your role as a rescuer clearly may save lives in the event that something like this happens. So let's say you are in the middle of enjoying something and then something terrible happens around you. And I don't want to put any particular events into your mind, but an event happens where there's a lot of people around you who suddenly are injured. The first priority in your mind is, am I safe where I am, or do I need to move away? There's no use in making you an additional casualty or other people. So if you can shepherd people away from a scene that is still dangerous, whether that's fire, explosion, weapons, something falling down, etc., please do so. Second, and this is really something that you shouldn't overlook, is somebody's got to call 911 and let them know. Find a calm person who can call and place a call to 911 and clearly as possible tell the 911 operator what's going on. Number three, what we always work on first is finding the worst people and getting care to them. That process is called triage. The triage then leads you quickly to doing treatment. So those two T's go together. But we go safety, triage, and then treat. And so those are the really easy things to keep in mind. In triaging people, one of the things that the lay public may not recognize is that people who have an airway and are breathing and are thinking can yell and scream. And so professional rescuers know it is the quiet ones who are going to die. And so in the event of a turmoil occurrence around you, something has happened bad. If you are having to move into the role of a rescuer, what you first look for are people who are quiet. And there are some people, unfortunately, who may be quiet and you're not able to help. And so you quickly move beyond that to people who are quiet, but in some way still showing you that they have signs of life. They may be looking at you, they may be groaning, or making muffled sounds of some kind, those are the first people who need your help in general. If you need to move somebody to a position of safety, you do so. And you do that by carefully dragging them in a long axis. And if you can get multiple people to help do that, you do that. There are situations that occur where people are still in danger wherever they are. There's fire, there's chemicals, there's weapons, etc. And sometimes you have to move people, and sometimes they can walk or assist themselves. Sometimes you can assist them with another person and get them out of an immediate danger. If you have them, put on gloves of any kind. They don't have to be medical gloves, but that helps you be able to dive in and do the work that you need to do next in terms of treatment. And those things are stop bleeding. That's big number one for the lay public. Number two, if someone needs assistance breathing, you assist them in breathing. Number three, if you're at the point where you can help somebody by doing compressions on their chest, those go much better if you have gloves in place. So if you can get some form of gloves, work gloves, rubber gloves, anything that's available to protect your hands, that does a little bit to protect you. Stopping bleeding, the very first thing to do is always put pressure directly on a wound. Take any piece of cloth, cotton, bandage that you have and put pressure directly on a wound. Don't worry about tourniquets. Most wounds don't need tourniquets. The extreme wounds that are cut usually at an angle by something sharp or by something like shrapnel or a bullet, and are bleeding and aren't controlled by you pressing on directly, then you need to think about a tourniquet. The tourniquet can be any piece of cloth or a belt. Or please, another good gift at the end of the holiday season here is to buy a tourniquet and have it available with you. The next thing, if someone's having trouble breathing or not able to breathe, or they have a lot of injuries to their face, sometimes you have to assist them breathing. The first thing you do to assist them breathing is to put them in a position where they can breathe better. Sometimes they need a little help to get there. Sometimes, if they're injured in the face, the thing that we do is we carefully roll them over to where they're about 3/4 over towards the about perpendicular to the ground or a little bit over towards the front, and then they can breathe better. For people with injuries to this part of their neck and face, a lot of times that alone will allow them to breathe just fine until professional rescuers get there. If you need to actually breathe for somebody, don't feel that you need to put your mouth on their mouth. What you do is you put your hand on their mouth, you leave a little circle either with your fingers or with a hand, and then your lips touch your own hands or your gloved hands, and then you're not doing literally lip to lip breathing for people. Um, in many cases, we don't have to do that form of breathing. And in the event where multiple people are injured, in general, we're moving to people that we can help. And if they're not breathing at all, we're not able to help them as non professional rescuers. Or even me as a professional rescuer, if I have a lot of people that are injured, I have to work on the ones that have the most benefit from me being there. And those are people who are still breathing and have other injuries that I can take care of. If people are burned, we've stopped the burn process. So that means take whatever we can and cool the burned area down. We leave the rest of the person warm. We do not want to chill people who are burned. So if they have a little burn on any part of their body, we work immediately on cooling just that part of their body in order to stop the burn process. That's really important. And at home, you might have a wet compress, a wet rag, a wet towel, something like that. We don't soak the person who is burned completely because that begins to chill them, and chilling is bad in burn patients. But instead, just compress the area that has the burn on it with something that is cool. Leave that on there, and then put a blanket on the rest of them. Keep them warm as possible until rescuers get there. Another important thing that oftentimes happens when there's multiple victims is we try to gather the family members together so that at the point where the professional rescuers get there and they're wanting to take families together, you've already helped do that by facilitating them. Where there's crowds, where there's people on vehicles like buses, et cetera, gathering them together is really important. And then finally, communicate with the rescuers, the professional rescuers, once you get there. Communication, let them know what you found, let them know what you did. Sometimes you have to fill out a report. In any event, you can give very valuable information to the professional rescuers when you get there. Let me say, I hope this never ever happens to you and you never have to use this information. But many people are put in this situation where they have to. I want you to be prepared. That's how we as professional rescuers get the best help for people. And oftentimes it's the people that have worked before we get there that are really critical to saving lives. Into 2025, I hope you're ready for a great year because it's going to be a good one. DocTalk, we're off. We'll be doing a great job for you this year. Stay warm, cancer screening. Take care of yourself. Talk to you next time. Thanks from DocTalk.